Good evening, chosen ones. Welcome to Virtual Beelzebub TV. I am your host, Beelzebub, and welcome back to the pit. So today, I thought I'd do something with the Call of Cthulhu tabletop RPG game that I am currently playing in. I know recently I posted some D&D content, but I'm actually currently playing Call of Cthulhu, and it's a lot of fun. And I wanted to just really quick shout out a real fun one shot that I actually started my whole campaign with, and pay it some respect and give it some attention. Now this is I honestly wasn't expecting it to be this fun because it's one of the free PDFs that you can download off of the Chaosium website. Anyone who doesn't know, Chaosium is the company that uh, they're the platform that the Call of Cthulhu 7th edition tabletop RPG, uh, they are the platform for that. They're the distributor, the producer, the whatever you call it. I don't know. They're the company. So this is the Lightless beacon. So let me actually move myself up out of the way. So with this, um, la, 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 la. So the Lightless beacon, basically the general overview is that the party stumbles across. They're on a ship that maybe the party is. I haven't read this in several weeks, so I don't remember the exact details. So what I did, based on the concepts portrayed in this book, and the actual content might be slightly different. What I had them do is the party was in a boat, in a keelboat, going to Rockport, Massachusetts, and they were supposed to pass by a lighthouse to give them light so they could get to Rockport, Massachusetts. I had all my players come up with a reason, like, why does your character want to get to Rockport? What is waiting for them there? I would actually recommend coming up with these motives in advance, because it'll give them something to talk about in the first 5-10 minutes when nothing's happening and everyone's introducing their character. So all in this boat. Now, I actually went ahead and created a couple of different NPCs. I made the ship's captain, a boxer, and I made a archaeologist. And the boxer, his name was Jack Hatchet, and basically he was the high HP, high damage character that wouldn't use any of the weapons because he's a boxer. So he is an asset to the team in combat, and he's not going to take any of the weapons that the party could use. And then I had the archaeologist, who was kind of like an Indiana Jones type, who had a pistol, a powerful antique flintlock pistol with one round. The reason it only has one round is it's meant to be a display piece. It's like this gold antique Civil War era flintlock, and it's like this 60 caliber monstrosity. One shot, one kill, anything you aim it at. And he wants to sell this gun in Rockport, Massachusetts for a high price. So those are the NPCs that I created, not directly related to this module. And the purpose of the archaeologist was specifically just in case the party created characters that weren't good in archaeology, appraisal, occult, in case they didn't make optimized characters, there would still be an NPC in the party who could make those roles so that the story could move forward. Because honestly, some of the stuff doesn't really move forward if they're not capable of making some of these roles. And that's kind of meh. Also, I would highly encourage you to just flat out tell your party, regardless of whether you're having these NPCs or not, encourage them. Let them know in advance that spot hidden is going to be a big deal so that at least one person can have a decent spot hidden roll. Because this is going to be like 80% investigation, as many of them are. Let them know, put points in spot hidden, at least one of them. So let's actually dig into the meat and potatoes. So what, let me actually look how they originally intended to start this off with, because the way I started it is I had the ship's captain get struck I had the ship crash because there was no beacon lighting the way, so they ran aground on some rocks, and then I had the captain get struck by lightning to completely eliminate any hope of getting the ship up and running again, because he's the only one who knows how the ship works. So the boat crashes, the captain gets struck by lightning, so they basically have no choice but to go to this island because their boat is sinking. It forces them off. Now, let me actually look how this was meant to be played, because I'm almost positive I changed how it was supposed to start. Um, the um, uh, so the investigator. Okay, no, this isn't it. Okay, investigator. Also, this comes with pretty decent pre-generated characters. So let me actually show this. I didn't use any of these pre-generated characters, but the game does come with a few decent ones. So that is actually on page 31. There are some pre-generated. You can use these as NPCs. If your players are new to the system, you can hand these over. If they've got no idea how to make a character, you can just hand these out. It's actually pretty handy. I ended up not using these. I made my own NPCs, and my players made their own characters. But it's kind of nice just to have some of these pre-gen characters. But I'm going to completely ignore everything that this module says about these characters because we didn't use any of them. And I feel like making an NPC in a new system is so much fun anyway that I don't see the point in using them. I'm going to skip this entirely. So let's see. There's the map. This map did not come in handy. They didn't leave. They just showed up. All right. So April 12th, 1926, 8:15 p.m. Beacon Island Lighthouse off the shore of Folly Point, Massachusetts, ceased to cast its light over the region's dangerous, rocky waters. As a result, SS Essex County, a mixed passenger and cargo vessel that's traveling to Rockport, has foundered, which I've never heard that word before. I've always heard it as run aground. I don't know why it says foundered, but it's crashed on the rocks and has taken damage to the hull. So obviously that's the starting point. I actually played through a like 15 minutes before the crash so that the party had a chance to get to know the NPCs, and I would recommend you do the same. I don't think it makes sense to start at the point of the crash. Like, I'm not a huge fan of in media res beginnings. Like, not for a new system with the new game with the new group. Absolutely not. But regardless, the ship is sinking and the crew hurries towards the small rowboats and the lifeboats, etc. They tell you to aim for Beacon Island. It's unlikely you'll make it to the mainland as a storm is a brewing. You should have just enough time to reach the island before it hits. Then, without another word, they shove up into the dark, churning waters as you all guide to the small, shining base of the lighthouse's towering silhouette. So, now the way I had it, they had to make a navigate check because it specifically calls out that there are rocks in the water, so they have to navigate around it. The module does not specify that they need to navigate around these rocks, but I would have them make either a pilot boat check or a navigate check or a spot hidden check to navigate the waters without crashing it. And if they fail, like my party did, then even their lifeboats run aground, and then they have to swim for it. Since it's pretty unlikely that the party is going to proactively put a bunch of points in swim, I would actually give them the option to make most investigators tend to lack good swim skill, so there's a chance that they could drown. That's not very fun. I would have it where if they failed their swim check, they could then make a strength or dexterity check to surface and kind of just tread water. Um, I don't really like this. I don't like the fact that there's a chance that they could fail swimming. I had my party members roll for, I think I don't remember what I made them do, but I gave them an opportunity to make a different check so that they could get to shore. There's no point in having them drown level 1. This is kind of like a weird intro that I'm not a huge fan of. Uh, honestly, looking back at it, I would completely skip the swim check. Just if they crash, they have to swim. And that's it. Um, Now, one of the first things they find are some tracks. There's some fish tracks that are leading to the. There's some human-sized fish tracks leading to the lighthouse, which is their first clue that hey, something's wrong, and they can roll a natural world check. And nobody's gonna have science biology. Science never. The science on their character sheet never. It never specifically states, oh, you could do biology or zoology. It's going to be a natural world check. No one's going to have this. But natural world check, the footprints appear duck-like in nature. Hard check says that there's something unusual, as if they may be from a yet unidentified species. Honestly, I would give them a bit more than that. I would say with a normal success, there's something unusual about giant aquatic footprints. I feel like you could get that probably without even a check, but with a hard success, I would throw them a bone and say, this appears to be a large, heavy, aquatic creature that's walking towards the lighthouse. Give them a little bit more information about what they're about to encounter. I did not use this map. I skipped over it when I first looked through it, didn't realize it was here, and honestly, it went just fine without it. But essentially, what they when they go into the beacon, basically, as you're reading through, there's a bunch of different clues as to what happened that they have to investigate, and basically, what has happened is the owners of this place have been killed, but not before shooting these creatures dead. And these are the source of the fish tracks. They're called deep ones. And what's kind of funny about this is, like, in the game, you have to roll for sanity when you see them, because they're supposed to be so hideous and arcane, and oh my god, monsters are real. But my party laughed when they saw this because they're fish people in, like, suits, and they thought it was super goofy. They're like, wait, I have to roll sanity? Look at this dude! Look how goofy he is! They were not scared at all. So yeah, it calls for a sanity check when they find these creatures. The occupants are dead. These fish people are dead. And they just keep exploring, figuring out what happened. There are notes that are left behind explaining that, in fact, these fish people have been scoping their place out in advance before the attack. And it comes to light later as they're investigating that this little ship that they passed by as they were rowing over or swimming to shore, this is actually a ship with treasure in it, full of all these gold coins. And the owner of the lighthouse found these gold coins, brought them in, and tried to get these gold coins appraised. And as soon as he started messing with these gold coins, he started getting scoped out by these fish people. And by rolling appraisal, they find out that these are extremely valuable. By rolling occult, they can find out that they have some sort of association with the esoteric order of the dragon, which is a cult that is associated with these creatures. Now, as they're investigating, they're like, we got money, we got artifacts, we got dead people, we got dead creatures. Why is the lighthouse not working? Oh, it's actually been chewed through by one of these motherfuckers. And they actually find him, like, his teeth still in the wires chewing through it. And then he got fried. And then it turns out, by the way, this boat ain't empty. Uh, they uh, they find out in the journal that these fish people all got into the boat and started looking around shortly before the players actually showed up. Like there should be a time stop saying like, "Hey, this happened like an hour ago, my dudes. They just got into this ship, and I found treasure in the ship. Then they came and went into the ship, and then a few came and like, oh my god, they're coming." So this is when the party realizes by reading the journal that, oh wait, there's these deep ones that they thought were all dead. No, there's more of them, and they're all in this ship, and they're looking for loot, and some of the loot from the ship is in this house, so they're gonna be coming. So as soon as they realize that they've got a ticking clock between when these fish people are done gathering all the loot from inside the boat, and they're going to come to get the rest of it that the owner of the lighthouse has stored away. The party needs to do a couple of things. One, round up all the loot that they've gathered, the money, the guns and ammo that the owner of the lighthouse had stored away in the closet. And then they need to, in order to get out of here, they need to be able to turn on the lighthouse beacon with a mechanical or electrical repair check. They need to they need to repair their boat, or you could have it. You could do what I did and just say that there was a speedboat with no fuel, and they just have to gas it up and leave. But I think it specifies that they're supposed to fix their own ship. But regardless, they need to get transportation off this island, and they need to turn on the beacon so they can see where they're going, because otherwise they're going to sail 30 feet and just crash immediately. So, the clock ticks down. They're going to find the fuel up the speedboat. Okay, as soon as the lighthouse is on, it should be obvious that that's going to attract the deep ones. I would make that as obvious as possible. So someone's gonna have to turn on the lighthouse and then come running down to the boat while everyone's sitting on the boat. That's going to attract the deep ones that are in the ship, and they're all gonna come running. So that whoever's up top, preferably an NPC, but maybe it's one of your heroic players, they're all the way up here turning on the beacon. They're all the way, over here, and this person has to get all the way down and all the way over before they make this very short journey up onto the shore. So the party then has an opportunity of like, okay, we can either abandon this guy as soon as he turns on the light and get the hell out of here and save ourselves, or we can wait for him to come down, take this limited guns and ammo that we got, that we've scavenged from this place, and try to hold them off so our party member can get in the boat. If they abandon their party member, I would have it so that the deep ones are so distracted by feasting on them that they're able to get away. But if they try to do a standoff and use covering fire to protect their ally, the deep ones should then jump into the water and swim after their speedboat or their keeled boat or whatever's waiting for them, and swim after them. So these fish people are swimming in the water, they're sailing away, and the fish people should be, I would recommend, they're actually not all that fast. I would make them fast in the water specifically. I think their speed is, let me pull it up here. What's their speed? Yeah, 8. Nah, I would crank that. If they have a speedboat, the boat speed should be 12, and so should the fish people. And it should be a tense race as they're speeding across the water with these fish people close behind them. So they should have to open fire and shoot at the water. Maybe the fish people actually manage to put hands on the boat, and they've got to get a fire axe that they got from the garage or whatever, and chop their hands to get them off the boat. And honestly, these things are no joke. HP 11 isn't a lot because a gun does 1d10 damage. So 2 shots, they're probably going down. But there's supposed to be multiple of them. Plus, they have armor. all damage that hits them per attack is reduced by 3. They've got scaly armor. And not only can they just claw at the party members, they can latch onto them and drag them underwater. They also have projectile needles, which have like a 30% chance of success. Honestly, if the party members have a decent dodge score, I would actually bump that. I would honestly bump their fighting and their needle scores to make it more likely to hit, and keep their dodge where it is. And because I feel like if they miss every shot, they're not going to be very scary. At least one person should be hit by one of these guys and feel the pain. Like 1d3 plus 1d4 probably isn't going to kill a player. You know, they can afford to hit a little bit more often, in my opinion. I do really like the projectile needle. I think like being able to fire a poison dart from 6 yards away, that's pretty decent. So, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, they just get, they basically boat away as these guys chase them. They all fight them off, and they are free. And that's basically what I did. There's a little bit more detail in here, a little bit, like the specifics of what you find in this module are pretty detailed. But honestly, like the whole structure, you get, you crash a boat, get to the lighthouse, find out, oh wait, money! Oh wait, we gotta fix this beacon. Oh wait, fish people! We gotta get out, turn the beacon on, get to the boat, fight them off, yeet! This could definitely be done in 3 hours, but if you're like me, and you go ham, and you add a whole bunch of extra content, this is gonna be 7 hours long. I added a whole bunch of extra content for shit that they found within here. But I feel like that's just something that you can have fun with if you're prepared to have a long campaign. Like, honestly, this is like 3 hours of content, but I just had so much fun. I went nuts. But yeah, I just wanted to pay some respect to some of the most fun I had in Call of Cthulhu. It was my very first one-shot. And I wanted to spread the love. Check out the Lightless Beacon. It is absolutely worth your time. And I would honestly, even though this definitely fits, you know, you can throw this in anywhere between while the party is traveling from one place to another via sea. I think this was my intro, and it works as an intro. The only thing I don't like about this is that since all the humans are dead, any of the party members who have like high persuasion or charm or fast talk, or they built really heavy RP characters, they're gonna be bored. Like, there's not a lot for them to do. That's my only complaint, is the fact that there are no the module doesn't really come with any meaningful NPCs other than allies and fish people. So there's no one really who knows what's going on that they can really press for information about what's happening. There's no one to talk to, no one to psychoanalyze, no one to roll psychology on. That's my only complaint. So a lot of the role play is going to come between the party members arguing about what to do next, rather than interacting with the NPCs. It's my only complaint. But aside from that, it makes an excellent introduction. It's simple, it's straightforward, it's exciting. 10 out of 10. Would recommend, would play again with a different group. Absolutely. Well, that's all I've got for you, and I will see you next time.
Pack up your sins and go to the devil in Hades. You'll meet the finest of gentlemen and the finest of ladies. They'd rather be down below than up above. Hades is full of thousands of Joneses and Browns, Houligans, Coens and Brady's. You'll hear a heavenly tune, the wind to the devil, because the jazz band started picking it, put a trick in it, a jazzy kick in it. They've got a couple of old reformers in heaven, making them go